Stronger welcome to the man of the hour, your favorite and mine, the ever effervescent Dr. Reverend Ken Wilcox.
Thank you, Wendy. Now I've got to live up to that introduction. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, and certainly I'm grateful you came out on this stormy day in St. Augustine, Florida. At least it's not cold and snowy, so we can be grateful for that. My name is Reverend Ken Wilcox, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. This is a unique community. We do not put any pressure on you to accept any dogma. We don't have dogma. We encourage you to come up with your own ideas of how you believe in God and to incorporate that into your life and put it to use. You'll never feel pressure to join our community or give. You're accepted and welcome wherever you are on your spiritual journey, and we know that by being here today, you're going to experience a great goodness. You're going to leave here inspired and encouraged. That's what our prayer is for today. So just a couple of announcements before we get going. Our new members class is coming up. If you would like to become a member and get a name tag, or if you'd just like to learn a little bit more about our organization, we have a class that will be after service next Sunday, so you can attend that. Our members meeting is also coming up. That's going to be February 2nd. That'll be after service. If you're a member and you want to hear about where we are as far as budget and that sort of things, plans for the coming year, this is the meeting for you. We also have Science of Mind class coming up. I have botched this class 3 times in a row. So this is a new date for this class. It's going to be on the 30th. That's a Thursday at 3 o'clock. It's on the 30th at 3. Just remember the 3. 3 o'clock. This is a history of Science of Mind. It's a history of new thought. The class is free. It's for love offering. It's a 10-week class. It'll really be good. If you want to know where these ideas bubbled up from, and here's a hint, they bubbled up long time ago. Actually, we can trace it all the way back to Egyptian thought. So this will be the class for you. It's the January 30th at 3 o'clock. Remember those dates. And if I say something differently, you can come up and, I don't know, tickle me or something. I was going to say smack me, but don't do that, please. Now, we also have yoga on Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. Chair yoga, and that's a wonderful class. So if you're interested in that, that's Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. That's a great class. Well, those are all my announcements, so let's get going with some great music. And Wendy, I know you got something for us.
Whenever I play this, I dedicate it to my mom. If she's listening online, hi, Mom. Every song I sing this morning, if you know it and you want to sing along, I always encourage that. You who are on the road must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their father's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they picked, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry, so just look at them and sigh. I know they love you. of tender years. Can't know the fears that you had us through by. And so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well, their children's hell is slowly going by. And feed them on your dreams, the one they picked, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry. So just look at them and sigh. I know they love you. Thanks very much, Joe.
Thank you, Wendy. And now to get our service going, we're going to have Maureen come up and do a reading and treatment for us. Come on up, Maureen.
Good morning, everyone. Yes. It's so radiant in here, even though outside, as Reverend Ken told us, it is stormy. So know that you are radiating God's love, and I so appreciate that. So my reading this morning, well, is sort of a reading, and it came by way of my granddaughter, who is now 16.
Wow.
And she was in town to visit me over the holidays, and so I was very happy for that. And it reminded me of something that she brought home to me when I was taking care of her when she was much younger, like 7 or 8, and on up a little bit. And I went and found it again, and I'm so happy. It was something that her teacher had played for her class at school, and she sent her home a copy of it. And it's actually the song lyrics from Nothing More by the group Alternate Roots. And it was released at the Sochi Olympics, I think it was like 2014 or 13, whenever that was. And, you know, the Olympics are always such an experience that uplifts everyone because everybody's doing their best and people work together and, you know, we truly are all one. And that's pretty much what this address is. So, and you can actually, I think I found it on YouTube, the video from the release, and it's really quite moving. If you have a chance to watch it, you might like it. So the lyrics are, to be humble, to be kind. It is giving the peace in your mind. To a stranger, to a friend, to give in such a way that has no end. We are love. We are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace. We are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. And to be bold, to be brave, it is in the thinking that the heart can still be saved. And the darkness can come quick. The dangers in the anger and in the hanging on to it. We are love. We are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace. We are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. And tell me that it is that you see, a world that's full of endless possibility. And heroes don't look like they used to. They look like you do. We are love. We are one. We are how we treat each other when the day is done. We are peace. We are war. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. We are how we treat each other and nothing more. We are how we treat each other. And to go along with that, Patricia Cota Robles from Era of Peace really addresses the same thing, and she says, we are being called to lift up into a higher octave of divine service and to know that we are permanently invested with the cosmic force field of the Creator's comprehensive divine love, now accelerating our service to the light of our world. So let us turn within. We talked about atmosphere in the meditation this morning. That was kind of the key. And so the atmosphere here, right now, is amazing. And we have co-created it by participating in time together, connecting in our worship of spirit. We don't say worship in our center very often, but adoration and blessing and praise, it's all part of our divine nature because that's what we are. We are love and we are loving kindness. And that is what is happening here in this center. The activity that we have within this center is an atmosphere of givingness, of community service, of so many wonderful things. And I am so grateful and thankful for each and every person because we're all participating in this together. And I know that today's service is perfect, and our message from Reverend Ken comes through and touches each one of us exactly as we need it. And I'm grateful for the wonderful music from Wendy, from David and Paul and Miles as they provide us with the media. And every volunteer, and we are all volunteers. You may be on a committee, you may be doing this or that, but we're all participating. We're all volunteering our service and our love and our light. And it's our responsibility to do that because that's what we're here for. And I'm happy and grateful that we can each give our part. And reciprocity is just such an amazing thing, and it just happens so automatically as we are kind and loving. And I know that as we are now in that kind and loving atmosphere, we go forth with this service in perfection, this day in perfection, giving thanks. I let it be, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Maureen.
Bows and flows and angel hair, and ice cream castles in the air, and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and they snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way that you feel when every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave 'em laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let 'em know. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really really don't know love at all. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus clown. I've looked at life that way. But now old friends, they're acting strange. They shake their heads and tell me that I've changed. But something's lost and something's gained in living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life. I don't know life at all.
Very nice, Wendy. Very nice. That's one of my favorite songs.
I played it just for you.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. So my talk title today is Unlocking Your Divine Potential. Your divine potential, because you know you are divine. You were Spirit's best answer to every problem you've ever faced. And Spirit has never been disappointed or rejected you for 1 second. In fact, Spirit has always been more excited about your possibilities than it's ever been upset about any mistake you've made along the way. We have this divine potential in us. Now, I'm basing this talk on the 2nd chapter of our Science of Mind textbook. Dr. Holmes called this chapter The Way It Works, the way Spirit works in our lives. Now, I love the fact that Dr. Holmes says our teaching, it's not a special revelation to him. It was an accumulation of wisdom throughout the ages. And he said that he studied all of them, and he came up with this philosophy, and he was open till the very end. In fact, he studied to the very end. When he died, there was an autobiography of a yogi on his nightstand. He was learning till the very moment he left. Our philosophy encourages us to take the good wherever we find it, making it our own as far as we understand it, to put it to work in our lives. Holmes says his biggest worry was that people would spend too much time debating these principles and not using them for more joy, more love, more health, and prosperity. Now, I don't ask you to take anything on my word. Prove it for yourself. Prove it for yourself, because until you prove it for yourself, it just remains an intellectual curiosity. We want you to experience the power of the universe showing up, creating the good you desire in your life. We want you to experience that co-creation with the universe, using your thoughts and your emotions to mold your life. And we have this power ever present to us, ready to manifest for us according to the patterns we set in our thoughts and our feelings. The challenge is to monitor our thoughts and feelings and correct them when they're not aligned with abundance and love and prosperity. And when we find that we're constrained by fear and doubt and limitation, to let them go. Our experiences are shaped by our inner world. To change the outer world, we must transform what is within. Now, you don't have to become all saintly to do this. Just simply observe your thoughts and emotions, and that alone can be incredibly powerful. Think about it. At one point, you were likely operating on autopilot, dwelling in the negativity because you just thought that was the truth about life. It wasn't negative, it was just the truth. Now you're striving to embrace a better idea. But then someone cuts you off in traffic. And what do? You cuss a blue streak. That's what you do. And you think to yourself, I'm never going to get this right. I'm always going to the negative. I'm never going to be able to experience good because I too easily go to the negative. But here's the proof. You're actually well on your way to experiencing the miracle. When you catch yourself in that negativity and you change it over to the positive, you are in a vortex of power. You are in a place where great good can happen to you. Dr. Holmes says habitual thought has some power, but deliberate thought has great power. Habitual thinking, that only has the power we give it. Spiritual thinking has our energy and the energy of the creative power of the universe behind it. And in that place of power, we can change the world. So I'm going to have a suggestion for you. I want you to create 3 visuals for yourself. A visual for your own personal life, seeing yourself having more prosperity, more health, more love, more joy, and abundance. Then a visual for family or friends close by, and a third visual of something good happening in the world. Perhaps us living in more peace, perhaps an ending to war, perhaps people coming together and actually talking to one another without confusion. And when you find yourself in that place of negativity, insert one of those visuals. And when you do that, you're going to have the power of the universe flowing through you. And you can say to Spirit, now, all right, Spirit, I've done my part. Get to work. I want to see some good happening in my life. I want to see more love. See, we are people of the covenant. That's what our Jewish friends say. They say they are people of the covenant. Well, we have a covenant too. Our covenant is when we deliberately switch from negative to positive, we can say to Spirit, okay, now I want something good showing up in my life. We can put that demand on the universe. And it is law and it is principle that it will show up. You do your part, and God will do its. This is the way the universe works. Dr. Holmes said, if you want to find a better God, you have to arrive at a higher appreciation of yourself. You're doing the best you can. Do not criticize yourself. Do not beat yourself down. Nobody has been criticized into genius. Speak well of yourself. Think well of yourself. It's not easy being human. And so when we're in this environment and we choose to let go of anger and embrace love, when we choose to let go of disappointment and try again, we're on the cutting edge, the fresh green shoot of Spirit's creation in our lives. And Spirit will rush to us possibilities. If God is to interpret itself to us, it must interpret itself through us. Through us. And this means as we elevate our understanding of life and embrace a higher standard of living, Spirit's gifts become clearer and more abundant. We see more of them. Because even God, even Spirit, will not force its blessings upon us. God cannot force a blessing on someone with clenched fist. It can only give to us what we're willing to accept. If we remain closed off to possibilities, we will inadvertently block the good of life. You know, many years ago when I lived in Atlanta and I had my own center in Atlanta, I had opened the center up in Buckhead. People ask me, well, where are you going to open your center up? I said, Buckhead, the wealthiest area of Atlanta. That's where I'm going. And that's where I had my center. And at one time we had a event. We went out to one of the local children's hospital. It was really right close to our center. And we paid for everybody's parking that came through. Because in Atlanta, at hospitals, you have to pay for parking. And it can become quite expensive. I mean, it can be $20, $25. And for parents having children in a children's hospital, this can become a heavy burden. So we went out with $1,000, and as people came through, we paid for their parking. And oh my goodness, people would have to pull off, and they would hug us, and they would cry, and they would tell us how much it meant. You know, how they were in there for weeks and months caring for a child, and how financially draining it was, and how just this little bit of good meant so much to them. And I remember there was one man, he was from Texas, and he asked us how much we had spent that day, and he wrote a check for the entire amount. So it's really lovely. But then there was one lady who showed up. We offered to pay for her parking. She would not have it. And we told her, we said, it's just free, we're just doing that. And she said, it's my experience, people who do something good for you, they want something in return. Lady, we're not going to chase your car down. You know, we'll never see you again. She would not have it. Now, it was a small thing, but she was cutting off her blessings. And the universe isn't going to argue with her. The universe will just allow that joyful blessing to go to someone available, someone open to it. Dr. Holmes says, we are bound because we are first free. The power that appears to limit us is the only power that can free us. It's the direction of our consciousness, what we choose to think about. One of the most powerful books I ever read, I read a psychology course in college. It's Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning. If you haven't read it, it's an intense read, but it's a good read. He was a scholar of Sigmund Freud, Jewish. He didn't get out of Vienna in time. He ended up in the concentration camps. And he experienced every kind of horror that mankind could dream up. And he said that everything can be taken from us, but one thing alone, and that is our ability to choose what we think about. That alone can never be taken from us, what we choose to think about. So that is our power, and we have a responsibility in this game. We have a role to play. We cannot just throw our desires out to a sugar daddy God in the sky and beg and plead and hope for health and prosperity, because that does not allow us to grow. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to grow in our understanding, and we are here to witness. We are here to witness how much Spirit loves us, how much it supports us, how much it adores us. This is what we're here, and this is what we can do. Holmes says, our suffering is not imposed on us. It is because we're ignorant of our true nature. This is why we suffer. And God's plan for us is for freedom and more freedom. Limitations are self-imposed. He said there'll be a day that we will free ourselves from the jails of limited thinking. And we will look back and we will realize that there was no bars on the windows and no locks on the doors. We had imposed our limitations ourselves. And so once we do it to ourselves, we can free ourselves. And today is the day of our freedom. Holmes says Spirit spreads itself over the entire universe. It shouts at us from every angle. Yet it can only become power to us when we recognize it as power, when we accept we are deserving of it, when we deserve that love we're longing for, the prosperity, the health, the peace we desire. When we believe that we are worthy. Dr. Holmes says if you think you're only worthy of a little good, that's how much you'll get. He says, but there is no great or small to the mind of God and in its capacity to rain down blessings on us. Rain down, to open the windows of heaven's storehouse and rain down health and joy and peace and prosperity. Spirit's willingness and abilities are limitless. The only limitation is in our receptivity. How much good can we accept? How much can we believe in? How much can we embody? Embody to the very core of your being. We are thinking, willing, knowing, and conscious centers of life. We are not the problem. We are the consciousness that brings the energy to bear on the problem to create the solution. You are not your problem, and don't ever identify with it. Sure, we have challenges, but don't own up to them. Let them fly by. Remind yourself of who you are and whose you are. I heard someone say that we pray for one miracle after another, and we never even acknowledge the blessings that we have already around us. Consider the idea if someone came up to you and say, well, I'll give you $1 million for your sight. Who among us would make that deal? No, $1 million isn't enough. What if someone showed up and said, I'll give you $1 million for your speech? I have family members who would want to gather up and make that offer to shut me up. But no. We already have untold wealth and with our God-given ability. And it's okay to search for our blessings, and the best place to start is with the huge blessings we already have. That's already around us, that allows us to move out into the world. We're surrounded by, we're immersed in, and we have this creative force flowing through us. We have the ability to shape our lives. Our beliefs and intentions and actions, they correspond with how our lives show up. So how much good can we demonstrate? Just as much as we believe and accept and embody. That and no more. Our ability to experience good is not limited by spirit, but by our own thinking. There's no limit to the good we can experience. Spirit's gifts are boundless, waiting for our acceptance. And how much good you can see, can you accept, and you can embody. And here's a good challenge for you. You want something in your life, and you see someone else getting it, don't be discouraged. Don't be upset or angry about it. Bless them. Bless them. And even if it's somebody getting something you don't think they deserve, bless them too. First of all, it's really none of your business, but bless them and say to yourself, well, if Spirit gave them that they're undeserving of it, I'm hugely deserving of it, so it's got to be better coming from me. And I'm open and receptive to it. Love the good wherever you see it, and try to bring as much good as you can. And to everyone around you. There's so many ways we can uplift and encourage and inspire. We can become beacons of hope and love and encouragement. And the world needs every bit of light we can shine forth. It starts by believing in yourself, seeing yourself as God sees you, not as weak, not as wounded, but bright, bold lights of Spirit's possibility, here to uplift, to encourage, to inspire, here to be a beacon of God's goodness. Spirit called you by name from stardust so you could walk the soil of St. Augustine. And you and Spirit have wonderful and amazing things to do. Spirit is counting on you, waiting on you. Believe in yourself. Believe in the good around you. Proclaim it where you can. And then put your hands to work with the good right before you. We don't have to solve all the world's problems. We just have to start solving the ones we can work on. And then proclaim God's goodness and look for the glory of God itself to manifest in your life through your love, your health, your joy, your peace and prosperity. You are on a wonderful journey, and Spirit is calling you forth. The glory of God waits for us, and we are on the move. This is the truth in your life this morning. It's the truth in mine, and so it is.
Good, we're going to manifest that right now. They say everything can be replaced. Sing it. Every distance is not near. So I remember every face of every man who put me here. I see my light come shining from the west unto the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. They say every man needs protection, and every man must fall. Yet I swear I see my reflection somewhere high above this wall. I see my light come shining from the west unto the east. Any day now, any day now.
Any day now, any day
now, I shall be released. Down here next to me in this lonely crowd is a man who swears he's not to blame. All day long I hear him cry so loud, calling out that he's been framed. I see my light come shining. I see my light come shining from the east, west into the east, from the west into the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. Now sing it like you mean it. I see my light come shining from the west unto the east. Any day now, any day now, I shall be released. any day now, any day now, I shall be released.
Thank you, Wendy. So now we come to the time we support our community, and we support this community because it's a special place to be. Now you can support us in a couple of ways. You can support us by prayer, praying and seeing this auditorium full and all kind of wonderful things happening for us. You can volunteer. We always have volunteer activities. And of course, you can support us in coin. However you choose to support us, know that your blessings will return back to you. So if you'll take your offering and place it over your heart and read with me this affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. The ushers have stepped down. Wendy's got something great for us, I'm sure.
You're always encouraged to sing along. Imagine there's no heaven.
It's easy if you
try. No hell below us. Above us only sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. I know religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one.
Thank you, Wendy. That was lovely. Thank you. And thank you for your offerings and contributions. We bless it. We know that your support is allowing us to do great good in the world, keeping us our beacon of hope and love and light and inspiration. So we thank you. We bless it. We release it, knowing it does its good and powerful work, returning to us multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my friends, I'm going to close the service with an affirmative prayer. I'm going to do it in the first person, but take it in for yourself. But say something that works for you, hold tight to that. But say something that doesn't work for you, well, just let that part slide by. But just know this truth with me this morning. There is but one God and one mind and one power. That power is perfect love. It's divine intelligence. That power called me by name from stardust so I could walk the soil of this earth. And it is supporting me, encouraging me, and inspiring me to live up to the best of myself, to see myself and my life as Spirit sees me, not weak and wounded, but strong, dynamic, powerful, out in the world and making a difference, being a beacon of hope and love and inspiration. I am not wounded. I am not a victim. I am a victor. I am here to experience God raining down blessings upon me. I am here to revel in love and joy, health and prosperity. Spirit sees me, loves me, supports me, and encourages me. And so here today, I have picked myself up. I have brushed myself off. I have lifted my eyes up to a greater knowing that I am on the move and I'm not turning back. I'm moving out in faith. I'm stepping out in glory. There's a new heaven, a new earth, and I'm moving towards it. This is my truth. Every cell of my being radiates this right knowing, and I am not holding back anymore. Spirit has shown me the glory and the goodness that it can manifest through me, and I am proclaiming that truth of it here, now, in my lifetime, in this day. I am so grateful for this right knowing. Every cell of my being radiates this right knowing. And I release this prayer into the mind of God to do its good and perfect, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my friends, I'm going to leave you with one last idea, and that is your life. Your life. It's not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding. Your job this week is to go name your miracle, proclaim your miracle, and make it your own. God bless us all. Now let us go be the miracle Spirit is calling us to be. Until we see each other again, this is Reverend Ken wishing you many blessings.
Surely I don't have to tell you. On your feet. Every time you invite me back, I am committed that I am going to always end with this song. So just get used to it. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow, to live each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let